All right, don't forget when we're doing these, we're doing the derivative of the whole thing times the derivative of the inside. So we're ignoring the fact that the inside exists for now, and we're just doing something to the 4. Something to the 4 always becomes 4 times that thing to the 3, yeah? And that thing is x plus 3. We then times it by the derivative of the x plus 3. Derivative of that is 1. So we've got 4 lots of x plus 3 cubed. Question 2. This time we've got that whole thing to the third. Now, whenever we're raising something to the third, it's 3 times that whole thing squared. That whole thing is 2x take 1. And we're timesing by the derivative of the inside, which is 2. Because the derivative of 2x take 1 is just 2. The 1 disappears, 2x just becomes 2. So that means we've got 6 lots of 2x take 1 squared. Question 3. So we're doing something to the 7, so that becomes 7 times the something to the 6. That something is 5x squared take 4. Now the derivative of that is, well, we've got to differentiate the 5x squared, which is 10x. The minus 4 disappears. So that was the derivative of the inside. That means we've got 70x times 5x squared take 4 to the 6. Question 4. Raising something to the 6, that's 6 times the something to the 5. That something is 8x plus 3. The derivative of 8x plus 3 is just 8. We get 48, 8x plus 3 to the 5. Question 5. We've got 1 minus x to the 5. Now that becomes 5 times that to the 4. We've got to times that by the derivative of the inside, which is minus 1 because it's negative x. So it becomes negative 5, 1 take x to the 4. Okay, question 6. Now we've got 3 times. Whenever we've got something to the 9, that becomes 9 times that something to the 8. That something was 5x plus 9. The derivative of 5x plus 9 itself is just 5. So we've got 3 times 9 times 5. Young. Excuse me. 3 times 9 times 5 on my calculator. 135. 5x plus 9 to the 8. Question 7. We've got that 2 lots of, now we've got something squared, so that means it's 2 times that something to the 1. That something is x take 4. Derivative of that inside is just 1. So we've got 4 lots of x take 4 to the 1. Question 8. That was really easy for question 7. This time we've got something to the 4. So we want to do 4 times that thing to the 3. That thing was 2x cubed plus 3x. We then have to times it by the derivative of the inside, which is 6x squared plus 3. So this was the inside. The derivative of that is that, because 2x cubed becomes 6x squared, 3x becomes 3. Which means we've got 4 lots of 6x squared plus 3 times 2x cubed plus 3x to the 3. It doesn't matter which order you do those brackets, by the way. We usually like to have, smaller powers to higher powers, but it honestly doesn't matter. Question 9. Okay, we've got something to the 8, which means we've got 8 times that thing to the 7. That thing is x squared plus 5x take 1. The derivative of that thing is 2x plus 5. The 1 disappears. So that's the derivative of that. 2x plus 5, yeah. Which means we've got 8 lots of 2x plus 5 times x squared plus 5x take 1 to the 7. Question 10. Okay, we've got something to the 6, which means we've got x to the 6 take 2x squared plus 3. 6 lots of that to the 5. We've then got to derive by multiply by the inside of that. So that x to the 6 becomes 6x to the 5. That minus 2x squared becomes negative 4x, and that 3 disappears. Which means we've got 6 lots of, oh, I should color code this as well. 6x to the 5 take 4x, it's 5, times, oh, this thing, x to the 6 take 2x squared plus 3 to the 5. Okay, question. Oh, there's 3 columns of this. Like, you get the hang of it really quickly. Okay, question 11. This time we've got a half 3x take 1 to the negative half times the derivative of the inside gave us 3 on 2. If we want to write this properly, that would be 3 on 2 root 3x take 1. But that's because we've got 3 on 2. Oh, I got that wrong. No, I didn't. 3x take 1 to the negative half, which means we've got 3 on 2, 3x take 1 to the half, which means we've got 3 on 2 root 3x take 1. You should be able to get to that step, though, pretty much immediately by now. So that was question 11. Question 12, we've got something to the negative 2, which means when we've got something to the negative 2, 4 take x, that means we've got negative 2 times that to the negative 3, multiply by the derivative of the inside. I forgot to color code the one above, hang on. Which is negative 1, means we've got positive 2, 4 take x to the negative 3, which means we've got 2 over 4 take x cubed. 13. We're raising something to the negative 3. So that's negative 3 times that thing to the negative 4. Multiply the derivative by the derivative of the inside, which is just 2x, that 9 disappears. And we get negative 6x over x squared take 9 to the 4. Question 14. We're raising something to the third, which means we've got a third, that thing, to the third take 1, which is negative 2/3. Multiply by the derivative of the inside, which means we've got 5 on 3 times the cubed root of 5x plus 4 squared. The negative, put it down the bottom. The 3 on the bottom made it the cubed root, and the 2 at the top made it squared. 15. We've got something to the 3/4, which means we've got 3/4 times that something. X cubed take 7x squared plus x. To the 3/4 take 1, which is negative 1/4. We then have to multiply by the derivative of the inside. So the derivative of this, which becomes 3x squared take 14x plus 1. So that's the derivative of the inside, which means we've actually got 3 times 3x squared take 14x plus 1 over 4 times the 4th root of x cubed take 7x squared plus x. Just wait until you're going backwards with those. It's called integration. 16. Now this is technically 3x plus 4 to the half, which means we want to do half times 3x plus 4 to the negative half times the derivative of the inside, which is 3, which gives us 3 on 2 times the square root of 3x plus 4. Question 17. This means we've got 5x take 2 to the minus 1. So we've got minus 1, 5x take 2 to the minus 2 times derivative of the inside, which is 5, gives us negative 5 over 5x take 2 squared. and 18. So that's that to the minus 4, which means we've got minus 4 times x squared plus 1 to the minus 5, times it by the derivative of the inside, 2x. So we've got minus 8x over x squared plus 1 to the 5. All right, final lot of questions, I promise. They get hard though. Okay, let's have a look at 19. Now that's the same as 7 take 3x to the 2/3, which means we're going to have 2/3 times 7 take 3x to the negative 1/3, because that's 2/3 take 1, times the derivative of the inside, which is negative 3, which means we've got negative, now the 3's are going to cancel out, so we've got 2 over the cubed root of 7 take 3x. 20. This is the same as 5 times this 4 plus x to the negative half. So that gives us 5 times negative a half, 4 plus x to the negative half take 1, which is negative 3 on 2, times the derivative of the inside, which is 1. So we've got negative 5 over 2 root 4 plus x to the 3. So the 5 on 2 is fairly self-explanatory. The square root is because it's down the bottom because it's negative 3 on 2, so that's, yep. Square root is because it's 2 on the bottom, and then to the 3 is because it's 3 on top of that fraction. 21. Now this is the same as a half times 3x take 1 to the negative a half, which means we've got a half times negative a half 3x take 1 to the negative 3 on 2 times the derivative of the inside, which is 3, which means we've got negative 3/4 3x take 1 to the negative 3 on 2, which gives us negative 3 over 4 times the square root of 3x take 1 cubed. You do get really good at your index laws after doing these for a little bit, don't you? 22, which is awesome. So that means we've got 3/4 2x plus 7 to the negative 9, which means we've got 3/4 times negative 9, 2x plus 7 to the negative 10, times the derivative of the inside, which is 2. So that gives us negative 27 over 2 times 2x plus 7 to the 10. 10, not 16. And 23. So that's this whole thing to the minus 1, yeah? So we've got negative, that whole thing, x to the 4, take 3x cubed plus 3x to the minus 2 times the derivative of the inside, which is 4x cubed, take 9x squared plus 3, which means we've got negative, that whole thing, cubed, take 9x squared plus 3 over x to the 4, take 3x cubed plus 3x squared. Okay, 24. So that's 4x plus 1 to the 4/3, which means we've got 4/3, 4x plus 1 to the 4/3 take 1, which is 1/3, which means we've got 4 times the cubed root, times 4, because I forgot to times the derivative of the inside. So that gives us 16 times the cubed root of 4x plus 1 all over 3. And last but not least, we've got 25. So that is 7 take x to the negative 5 on 4. So we've got negative 5 on 4, 7 take x, negative 5 on 4 take 1, negative 9 on 4. Let me double check. Yeah. Which means we've got negative 5 on 4 times the fourth root of, times the negative 1, because that's the derivative of the inside. So we've got positive 5 on 4 times the fourth root of 7 take x to the 9. Hopefully that's the last one because I'm already over it. Here we go.